Hi guys, Rue here, and now we're gonna get on with small details. So you see now we've done the blocking, we've done the mid details, and now we can actually start adding small details. Now that's a really difficult part in any type of modeling, okay? It doesn't matter if it's hard surface, you know, organic, sculpting, whatever. It's really difficult because it's easy to overload certain areas with details. So the reason why we started with blocking and mid details was to establish where we can just drop some concentration of small details and leave certain areas, you know, a little bit less congested. So for example, so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be jumping a lot between different parts. And let me tell you briefly what we're going to be doing. So we're going to probably jump between different parts and see how things develop, okay? So first of all, I'm going to add some tiny screws in here. It's going to be the easiest thing to do. So let's grab a cylinder and make it smaller. And in fact, you know what, before we do anything, because we will be creating small details in the future with Decal Machine, as a bonus of this course. So I'm going to actually save this as a separate file, and I'm going to create a save called, let's call it Final Details Clean, and I'm going to save it, okay? And then I'm going to save another one, and this is going to be 47, and finally just clean. We're gonna remove this clean part, just find final details and dot blend. So by doing so, I have a clean clean gun to go back to if I want to add some fine details. So anyway, let's grab a cylinder here and let's auto smooth it and shade it smooth and make it smaller like this, okay, and bring it outside here. All right, and we're gonna bring it in here, make it just tiny, a little bit bigger maybe. Shift D, move it in here, and Shift D and move it somewhere here. Select all these three and Control J and select this one and Control minus, okay? And we're gonna have to move it above because weighted almost is causing issues. So let's expand this panel a little bit more. And let's move it above these two. Let me see what's going on here. 3 balls in here, so, and above the bevel, and above the bevel. That should sort it out. So bull, perfect. And we actually move it above the mirror, so this will ensure that it's gonna get copied to the other side, I think. And now you see these shading problems, they are caused by simply boolean going haywire. So before we apply this boolean, let's do the sensible thing, which is going to be running some loops in here. So let's run one here like this, and simply let's grab an edge and drive it like this. That's one. And then what we're gonna do is do something like this here, okay? So let's drive an edge here like this and drop a loop in here and just run it like this, and this should solve a lot of problems. Now of course we're gonna have to run a sharp edge in here, so mark sharp, and at the same time we will need to run the sharp edge on the other side. So here, I don't even know if these edges actually marked sharp, but if they're not, we will need to do this. So mark sharp, not mark seam, mark sharp, there you go. And this will stretch the whole area. I'm not sure what's happening in here, that's kind of curious. Maybe this part is, let's bring it to local because something's fishy going on in here. These parts are not being beveled, maybe that's the problem. So let's sharpen them up and actually add B weight, because I think this whole structure runs on B weight. So maybe this one doesn't have a B weight. Fascinating. Let me see this. Boolean, boolean, boolean. Ah, bevel is underneath the weighted normals. That's the problem. So let's move it on top. And that should sort the problem. For some reason it didn't, which means what is going on here? Let me see. Let's see. Let's add bevel weight to these edges. Let me turn this bevel for a second off. This is not the bevel problem. Wait a minute. Something is causing a problem here, and this is not it. Right. Weighted normals? That's fascinating. Huh. I tell you what, let's apply the booleans. See how we're looking. And there's a mirror, that's fine. Bevel could go above the mirror, that's not a problem. And let's see here. We switch to angle, and let's see how we're looking. Maybe we don't need bevel weight. We just need an angle, we're gonna be fine. And everything is clean. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is simply we're going to go to edge mode and select these. It's gonna be tough to select. Let's select it manually like this around. Okay. And select here, 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 and here. And here, 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 and this, right? And we're going to actually chamfer it a little bit like this, okay? Don't overdo it. Now you need to be careful here because you see we are actually catching a double edge, which we need to remove manually, okay? So move it to the geometry of the circle, of this screw indentation, or whatever you want to call it. Two verts in here, be careful. Same at the bottom. Make sure that all these are connected. These details are essentially important. Now this is a disaster, and I wonder what is going on in here. This is fascinating. Let's go back in time because this is going to be very difficult to clean. Let's go back before we actually apply this. See, this is very, very important. The reason why it happens is because we cut two edges at the same time. So again, this could be fixable, right? But, you know, we could just merge all the vertices together and start from scratch, make a new cut. But it's simpler to revert, and it's good to check all these things beforehand. That's why I'm cleaning all geo after each boolean, because of these, these issues, right? This should be fine. It's a little bit steep, but I think we're gonna be fine. So now we got some problem on the other side. What's going on in here? This is just a double geo, so we can press 3 to clean it. There you go. Machine tool's gonna clean it for us. We're gonna move it in here. We're gonna be peachy. Go down, do the same thing. So move it here to the left. And move this one to the right. It's fine, no problem, okay? And now we're looking good. So that looks pretty cool. Don't make these holes too big because, you need to remember the proportions. These holes cannot overpower cutters. If they're gonna be too big, it's just gonna look weird. This is perfect. This is a perfect detail. So that's taken care of. I don't think we need to do anything more over there. I'm gonna leave it clean. There's a good possibility I'm gonna drop a gun name in here, so I'm just gonna leave it as is.